Jamal Niaz here with the main man himself, Johnny Fisher, the man that's made Bosch famous. You're going up against the White Rhino. It's a Romford Bull versus the White Rhino, and you had a lot of banter there. You're both very likeable, funny guys outside the ring. Does it make it that much more difficult fighting someone that you like?
It's literally a fight. I'm going to try and take his head off. He's going to try and take my head off. It's his business, but when you get in the ring, you switch into a different character, and I think boxers can do that. You can be friendly with people, but when you get in the ring, it's business, and I'm a fighter at the end of the day. He's a fighter. He's fighting to feed his family, feed his kids. I'm fighting to give my family a better life. So when it comes down to that, it's respect, but it will be battle.
You know, you've both spoken about that first sparring session you had. I believe it was back in 2019. You were very raw. Was coming from the rugby background and hadn't had any experience in boxing. What do you remember from that experience sparring Dave Allen back in 2019?
I remember, bloody hell, these shots hurt, but I'm going to keep going. And I remember getting out of that ring and thinking, I've proven something to myself there, that I've got a bit of toughness about me. I've got the minerals, I can do something. I might only do a little bit, but I know I can be a professional boxer and I can hang in with these guys. And he was fighting Lucas Brown, probably his career best win a week or two later. So I knew I was in with a good guy, a good operator who can fight at British level. And listen, if I fight for a British title and I win, that would be an unbelievable achievement for me. I think I can go further, but I'm very grounded, I'm very realistic about how hard this game is. And when I sparred Dave Allen, I knew I can hang with the big boys, you know.
Dave's very harsh on himself. He always has been very harsh on himself. And, you know, we just spoke to him then, and he says that he's a has-been, and he believes he's been brought into this match to make you look good. What do you make of it? I know by no means you aren't looking past him, you aren't overlooking him. He's got a lot of power, he's a very dangerous opponent.
There's probably some truth in that from the optics of it, how it looks, but Dave Allen's fought more rounds than me this year. I've fought one round this year. I've only boxed one round. I haven't got the resume that Dave Allen's got. Tony Yoka, Dillian White, Lewis Ortiz, David Price, to name a few of them. The best win on my record, Babbage or Harry Armstrong. I actually think Harry Armstrong would beat Babbage. So I'm going into an unknown territory against someone who's been more active than me in this year. So that's how I look at it in my head. I'm fighting Dave Allen, and I'm expecting the best Dave Allen, the most mature Dave Allen. And if I'm not ready, I'm going to get beat.
Do you believe that you'll knock him out in there, or can you see it turn into a bit of a war as long as it lasts?
I always look for the knockout, you know that. But if it's a war and I need to go to war, I've got to be prepared for that. You can only go to war so many times in your boxing career before you run out of the ability to do that. So I will go there if I need to, but obviously I want to get the knockout.
How have these past few years been for you in terms of the fame and recognition you're getting? It's absolutely nuts considering how you're still on the come up, you're still on the rise. The fans are absolutely loving you. You built this brand. How important is it to build a brand for a fighter and athlete, do you believe? You built it around Bosch, you and your dad.
It is important. It's important to have your personality come across, and it's not so much about building a brand and doing things artificially. It's about being yourself. And I've got my brother Henry, who's really good at social media. He's good at getting us out there, which is all brilliant. But that's all well said and well and done. But I've got to be a boxer first and foremost, so I'll go as far as I can, and that's my primary aim, to be a good boxer and get as far as I can. The other stuff is all brilliant, but that's a bonus. My job is to beat people in the ring. That's what I've got to do.
Well, it's a perfect combination because the content's brilliant and you're explosive in there.
It's working well at the minute, and listen, life's about having fun as well. Don't take yourself too seriously. It's a serious game, boxing. People get hurt. It can be very dangerous, but even in that ilk, the nature of how we are as people is you still don't take life too seriously. You take training seriously, of course, but life is life, and you've got families and you've got this and that. Enjoy yourself at the same time, you know. And
obviously the main event, biggest fight in boxing, I would say, Fury Usyk 2. What do you make of it? And this is the last question. What would you make of a rematch between Joshua and Dubois as well?
Great fight, unbelievable. I'm just so honoured to be on this bill with Fury and Usyk. I think Fury can win. I'll be backing Fury. I love Usyk as well, but I'm a Brit and I'm a Gypsy King fan, and I think if he shows a little bit more stamina, shows a little bit more killer instinct when he's got the man hurt and throw a few more of them body shots, I think Tyson knows what he's got to do. And Dubois, Joshua, of course I'd love to see that again. Everyone will expect Dubois to do the same, but Joshua's got a mentality that not many people can rival, and he'd still be in it. And he nearly did knock him out. Don't forget, when he was catching him, he had him in trouble. So that's an interesting fight to see again as well.
Appreciate your time. In a few years, you're hoping to be in those caliber fights as well.
It would be an honour, and I would give my best. I would honour it by going out swinging. That's how I'd do it.
100%. Appreciate your time, brother.